choose you. Season 7's our destiny. Let's eat some Alolan food. I choose you.
Hello, and welcome to I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. My name is Jeremy Zelick. I'm the host and Alton Brown of the group. Joining me this week, as always, is...
your friend on this show, Ben Montoya.
Ian Davis, the Oliver R. Chase of the show.
And your number one believer, Evan Aubrey.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Not to be confused with a believer.
No, you don't believe things. You just believe things.
I just believe it.
Okay, so for our listeners...
Nope.
We can't talk about it. Can't talk about it until we get paid for it.
That's true.
You know what?
Consider this a sample of what you could get.
Yes.
Just a sample.
Absolutely fucking roasted.
Yeah.
So, okay. Speaking of things that we haven't been able to talk about, but I think finally can talk about, Jeremy can maybe talk more about the specifics of this, but we're all getting so excited about the Switch 2, right? Oh. And I think one of the things that we're most excited about as industry insiders, right,
of course,
is that it hasn't been announced yet, so you might not see it. If you Google it, you might not see it, but there are like rumblings that Waluigi MILF Hunter is going to be a launch title for the Switch 2.
Oh.
Yep. And I think they're going to announce that. Usually in February they announce like a Nintendo Direct. I think February 14th is next week, Valentine's Day. I think they're going to be like, let's get hot and heavy with Waluigi MILF Hunter on Valentine's Day.
Purple Switch.
Yeah.
Purple Switch.
And the back is just giant jugs.
Yeah. It's like those mouse pads that have boobs on them.
Yeah. Yep.
I will say this about Waluigi MILF Hunter is that it really incorporates the Switch 2's new DLSS and 4K upscaling technology. So you can really get into the fine details of Waluigi's nose and mustache. And it makes the MILF hunting experience that much more inspiring and enveloping.
I mean, it's going to use the full capabilities of the Switch 2. I think it's fair to say.
Mm-hmm. I was talking, after we were finished like demoing it out in the hall, I was chatting with Reggie, and he was saying that like they did have to tone back MILF Hunter because the Switch 2 almost couldn't handle how like the jiggle physics were so much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So each time each boob like moves independently of each other, you feel like the HD rumble in the Joy-Con.
The Joy-Cons are made out of like all rubber now, and they like move in your hands.
Just rumbles right out of the socket.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Switch 1 just couldn't handle it.
No.
We have heard a lot about this game. We've been very excited for this game, eagerly watching and waiting for it to more details to be out, because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, its 4-year development process, I think, is finally coming to fruition this year. I know when it was just announced with just a logo and people were concerned about that, and when they announced they were restarting development after the previous publisher kind of wasn't coming up to snuff, I know that concerned a lot of people, and they're like, I get it. You don't want to be waiting so long for your favorite character to come back to like the platform in this way. But I can guarantee you right now that the Switch 2, launching with Waluigi MILF Hunter in October of 2024, is going to be the media experience of the year.
Worth the wait.
And
yes,
we signed an NDI, but I'm gonna break it for you guys, the fans. If you listen, pay attention when you're playing the game. You might hear our voices as some of the MILFs in the game.
Your favorite MILFs.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
we're kind of like side MILFs.
Just keep your ears open. You'll hear some familiar voices.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited. That's all I'm saying. I know everyone's talking about it. It's the number one thing dominating the internet. Switch 2. When is it going to happen? That's all people care about. And I think this information will keep people satiated for the next couple of weeks before the new hardware is revealed.
I mean, these are just
the
rumblings.
hardest wear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they said it's got an 8-inch screen, so they're coming in deep already.
They know exactly what they're trying to say.
Yes.
All right,
I do. Excellent.
I have something I wanted to talk to you guys about.
Okay.
Bought some gourmet ice cream at Sprouts.
Okay.
What a pivot.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a pivot. I wish that there was any sort of like relationship between hunting MILFs and eating this ice cream. Except that I guess both are good. I got spicy PB caramel, chocolate caramel,
Ooh.
Peanut butter caramel. Okay, good. Sounds good.
and a vanilla chai.
Oh, it also sounds good.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very good. The brand's called Marco, if anyone wants to get it. But to my surprise, I pull off the lid, and you know it has like the plastic hermetic seal. On it, it said, "Enjoy this playlist while you eat this ice cream," and there was like QR code.
Whoa.
So I
What's on it?
well, so I scanned it, and it took me to Spotify, and they have a playlist for every flavor of ice cream they offer, specially curated
Interesting.
to enjoy while you're eating the ice cream.
Who's featured on spicy peanut butter caramel?
It was all indie folk rock.
All right. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys. I didn't think it. I mean, I'm the only one who had the ice cream, but I feel like it didn't align.
So
for
you're
me.
not like when you're like at home, you're eating some ice cream, maybe directly out of the tub. I don't know. And you're listening to like Iron and Wine or maybe like the Lumineers in the background. It's like, hey, as you slowly eat ice cream into you.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like this experience in the sense that like it's providing you with like an audio pairing with this ice cream. I do think it's a little bit tricky to necessarily pin down a flavor to like a style of music. I think that might be like, because I think there's all sorts of people who like that flavor of ice cream who don't like necessarily all kinds of music. So it is a little bit tricky, but I like that idea.
I don't know. I think I'd lean more into the like. I think they need to. Hallmark needs to release their like play music when you open the card tech to this
ice
company.
cream-
So,
so-
as soon as you lift the lid,
Crack
just
it
starts
open,
going.
and it's like, hey, ho! As soon as you open your ice cream,
yeah.
I mean,
because no one's gonna scan this code and then like
I mean,
wait
it
and then
did.
listen to it.
Yeah.
Well,
It was pretty quick, actually.
no.
All
What
right,
they should
no.
do is Hallmark should transfer the ice cream scanning technology to their original movies. So like you crack open the Hallmark ice cream, you scan
like,
it,
here's
and
a
it
movie
like
you should watch
and
with
it brings
this.
like a rom-com up on your phone, and then you can eat the ice cream while watching a movie.
yeah.
that's the thing is I think ice cream in a movie is more of a common experience
Yeah.
than ice cream and sit there listening to an album. But I mean, maybe people do both.
Yeah.
I'm with Ben where like I love the concept. I think we need like I want food to bring me the art. Right?
Yeah.
And I do think like it's okay, like, I don't listen to a lot of like indie folk rock myself, like in my free time, but I was like, all right, like I respect what they're, it's a pairing, like you don't
I'll tolerate this Wilco song now that I'm eating
with this
my
ice cream.
caramel
Yeah, exactly.
chocolate ice cream.
what they did nail was the vanilla chai was all like lo-fi beats to relax and study to.
Oh,
absolutely.
fuck yeah.
And
But
I got down with that.
okay, and that sounds reasonable, but I feel like and maybe this is just me, is that if I'm eating a meal, I prefer I don't usually like and if I'm by myself eating a meal, I don't usually just listen to music. Maybe I'll put on like a podcast or an audiobook that's something a little more like high, like like I'm paying closer attention to it, or I would go to watch something on TV. I feel like those are my two. I prefer that to like straight music.
Well, Jeremy?
I could go both ways. I think what I'm hearing though, Jeremy, is that we need to partner with this ice cream company and get them start making I Choose You episodes for their ice cream. And the
Yeah,
episode
so-
is about the ice cream that you're eating. So then
Yeah,
you're
so-
like, okay, I can.
We're eating it along with you.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Oh,
So you like get your fahupa ice cream, and you crack that open, you scan it, and it brings you right to that episode of I Choose You.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, I feel like since high school we've been talking about Ben and Jeremy's ice cream. Like,
That's true. It's
They
gotta
can't sue us; it's legally distinct.
But I do like the episode is like, oh, I got a little bit of nuts in mind. Did you get that yet, listener? Mix it up with the marshmallow. That's
So we're saying this in the show?
we're telling them like how to eat it.
Yeah, that's
So we're
really
ice-
fun.
Yeah.
And then there's a D's nuts thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the name of one of our ice creams is D's Nuts.
How is Ben and Jerry's not capitalized on that?
D's Nuts.
Yeah.
They did the Sweaty Balls ice cream. Why can't they do the D's Nuts ice cream? Come on, Ben and or Jerry. Do I have to go to Vermont and make you do this?
What would you want the D's nuts to be?
Like the flavor or the music?
The flavor. Well, both.
I think straight up like peanut butter ice cream would be good.
Peanut
Peanut butter ice cream would
With
be.
chunks of peanut or something in there.
I feel like if it's. I look. If so, is it like? What if it's like a like peanut butter ice cream? It's done. People have done it. It's over. It's canceled. What if we did like almond flavored ice cream for one? I don't think that's really a market that has been explored.
Like marzipan.
Yeah, like marzipan ice cream.
Oh, that'd be good. Although I think D's nuts implies a medley of sorts. Probably.
Yeah, but maybe it has chunks in it as well. Like it's almond ice cream with like walnut bits in it and chocolate.
I'm not saying this would be good, but to like along Evan's lines, to capture the true essence of D's nuts, pistachio ice cream with chunks of almond, peanuts, walnuts, macadamia, get all it's D's nuts.
In the pistachio nut
Ice cream, yes.
Okay, yeah, wow.
And like our pistachio ice cream, it's the most radioactive green color you can fucking imagine. It's a Ninja Turtle in there, and it's just gonna serve D's nuts to you like as quickly as possible.
It's giving D's nuts.
Yes,
Absolutely.
man, we have so many great ideas. I don't know why more people haven't hired us as.
Why have we not quit our day jobs to pursue these?
Speak for yourself.
That's fair.
We should make an ad consultancy, and it's just us, and we pitch these things to people, and they're like, "God damn it, you're right," and they just cut $1 million checks each time.
Would we be better or worse than Detroiters?
Probably worse.
Like the show or
Yeah.
at their jobs? Okay.
At their jobs.
At their jobs in the
Okay.
show.
I would say worse.
Okay. I would say worse as well because those were usually written as jokes to be funny
Jeremy.
beforehand.
Damn.
Jeremy.
Got him.
Yes, and okay. Jesus fucking Christ.
But I understand the need to be Tim Robinson.
Right.
All right. I was going to do a LaCroix Boys, but we've really done a lot of bits. This has been a bit heavy opening. I just wanted to say there's a new flavor of Trader Joe's sparkling water that I purchased today. It's cherry vanilla.
Ooh.
So we'll see how that goes.
Does it taste like cherry vanilla Coke?
It's pretty good. It does taste like cherry vanilla Coke.
Ooh.
Oh,
Like that
I'm
sweet?
sold.
It's not that sweet. There's no sugar in it, but it's like it has that flavor profile in there.
Nice.
Interesting. Kind of like watered down soda.
No, I'm of the opinion that seltzer water usually doesn't taste that much like soda, generally speaking, because it doesn't have any sugar or anything in it, so you just don't get that like sweetness. But vanilla by itself is not sweet, so I think it achieves its goals fairly well. So I give the Trader Joe's sparkling water, black cherry vanilla, a thumbs up.
Nice.
Nice.
Ian's
You got
got
it,
a
Ian.
Guava.
LaCroix.
Sao Paulo.
Beautiful.
Ben, I noticed you grabbed a can from off screen. What do you have today?
I have a Fall Brewing Tropical IPA.
It's not fall.
Fall is the name of the company. But that's so funny, Jeremy. It's really not fall, and you're so right.
Evan, do you got anything for us today?
I'm back on my baked apple pie cider.
Ooh.
Shit, that sounds so good.
It's fucking amazing.
God, I wish I had
yeah.
some right now. There's
I'm
none.
stocked up.
There's none of that in the store, so I'll just have to live vicariously through Evan's.
I don't know if, because this is from Schilling, which is a Seattle company, and I don't know. So I got it through Trader Joe's, because shout out to Trader Joe's, they're hooking it up and keeping me connected. But I don't know if Schilling makes that anymore, like for this season. So this must be like the rest of, or like seasonally. So that Trader this might be like the end of their supply.
You should save one can and sell it for hundreds.
I don't think that would work. I think also, like, obviously I've noticed that when I'm in the Trader Joe's, they have some nationally distributed beer brands in the store, but it's like 60 to 70% local microbreweries kind of situation as they're offering. So I just don't think I'd be able to get this unless I was in California or the West Coast or what have you.
Yeah,
True.
I know we record this show at night, but I want at least one episode where Evan makes an espresso during the show.
On his espresso machine?
And that's,
I mean, I totally could.
and that's the LaCroix boys. It's just, we're staring at his back while he makes an
You
espresso.
guys are just chatting, and I'm just over here making my latte or whatever.
You could be like a guy at like a French cafe kind of situation.
Yeah, it'll give that. What was that KSFR morning show that was at the baking company?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, a local radio station in Santa Fe, KSFR, used to host a radio show outside of a restaurant called the Santa Fe Baking Company.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was inside. They had
Yeah.
they had the cafe sounds in the back. It was
Yeah,
nice.
it would be like
Interesting.
your
Wow.
plates clinking and stuff like that. Give it an ambiance kind of situation. But you know what else?
What
gives-
this podcast needs is more ambiance.
That's true. Ben, can we like put in some like French street noises in the background to make it sound classier?
What is the audio equivalent of like nice tea candles on your dinner table? You know what I mean?
Like a
Like,
little-
ambiance.
Maybe like a little fire crackling in the background, like the
Yeah,
Netflix
I was
fireplace.
I was thinking like the
Hey,
background sounded a sizzler or something.
A Chili's.
Yeah.
I think our show is kind of an Outback Steakhouse vibe. So
Absolutely.
Not Texas Roadhouse with like the peanut shells all over the
peanuts on the floor.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fucking
D's
mess.
nuts.
So when you have that as your background, you just hear crunching all the time as people walk across the shell-strewn floor.
God. Sounds like
Do you think it's like that when you go to sit at your table? You have to like make your way across the sea of peanut shells. Waiter's like, excuse the mess.
dear God.
Well, I haven't been to a Texas Roadhouse in a long time, so I can't speak to current conditions, especially after the pandemic might have impacted the shell directly on the floor scenarios. But when I went there last time, it was mostly like there was just like kind of a pile of peanut shells next to each table, like on the floor, but it wasn't like a full like even coating across the whole restaurant.
I'm going to say this again. Do you think this is where a trough might come in handy? Instead of on the floor,
True.
peanut
They
trough.
need a little conveyor belt throughout the restaurant. Where you
Yeah,
just
it's like
put
those
your
sushi
shit.
restaurants.
Yeah,
Where
but
you
you're just
like
putting garbage there.
When you say trough, do you mean like there's a little trough at the end of the table, or the table is just a long trough and everyone's just sitting over it cracking peanuts?
And eventually there's enough peanut shells in the table trough that it just becomes like flat on the top and you can like put your plate on it.
That's
and eat
By
off
the
of
time
that.
the main course gets
yeah.
there.
They don't serve you the meal until you've filled the trough.
Build your table.
They're like, fill your trough, okay, and we'll bring out your 42-ounce steak or whatever. Damn. Quick, fine dining. That's all I have to say. And you know what else is fine dining? I Choose You, the podcast where each week we select a new Pokemon at random to cook and eat. We come together in this place to share our recipes, the bold, the delicious, the disarming, and then we vote very democratically on who has the most delicious recipe. This week we're cooking Cutiefly, a pretty normal Pokemon, even though it's fairy type. Is it fairy type? It is. I was
Fairy bug.
fairy bug. Pretty normal Pokemon after so many goddamn Ultra Beasts this season, where it's like, oh, it's a rocket ship from another dimension, or it's a brick wall or whatever. So I'm kind of happy that we got something that we can just kind of like dig in, and have a good time.
Yeah.
I believe I was the winner last week, but I don't want to keep talking, so I'm going to pawn it off to Ian. Ian, why don't you start this week?
Gladly. Looking at Cutiefly, not a lot there in terms of like meat on them bones.
True.
No sustenance.
It's very
Shortest-
small.
It is small. This is like one of the few Pokemon that are like not bigger than you would think.
It's the shortest Pokemon,
Oh. The shortest Pokemon.
0.04 inches, I think.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
That's small.
And or it's scratch that. Maybe it's one of the smallest. I think it is the lightest. I think that's what they
Okay.
said. So not a lot. Like it's a wisp. It's a little gnat flying around your head, and you like slap them.
And it's like bug-sized. That's crazy.
Bug size.
Why don't we get
Yeah.
any more like bug-sized Pokemon? Like that are like,
Bug-sized bugs.
Yeah, exactly.
I want like
Yeah, because I mean, even like Butterfree or whatever is like 3 feet
Right.
wingspan. Like if I saw that in real life, I'd freak out.
Do you think people in the Pokemon world never get sick because like there's no like bacteria like or viruses? Like everything is just 3 feet tall.
It's too big to fit in your body.
Yeah.
Oh man, the pollen though. Could you imagine?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. It just hits you in the
It's like
face.
a big.
Season.
Instead of like sneezing, it just hits you in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was picturing, like, if you took them and you like, you know, flick off the wings, take away the proboscis, it kind of looks like a little candy.
Oh,
I see it.
And
Yep.
like his whole deal is like, you know, bee style, hummingbird style, sucks up the nectar, rubs the nectar on his body to save for later, right? Like sweet.
Yeah.
Definitely like, you know, some sweetness inside and out. So what I'm proposing is get a whole big bag of them. And
Yes, they come in the bag by the bag full.
Yeah, they're like popcorn.
yeah. Take them, you know, remove all the bits. Cook them, maybe like in some, I'm picturing like in a pan with like butter and like, you know, sugar, vanilla. You get like elevate the sweetness.
Okay.
And then you send them down the conveyor belt, ka-chunk, 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 stamp their little bodies with like, be mine, D's nuts.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, whatever they're putting on them now.
I would love
Would
to
you-
receive one of those like sweet tart heart candies that just says D's nuts.
That would be
That
awesome.
would be great.
You're mine.
Well, on the
Ligma balls.
Ligma.
Yeah.
There is. I'm looking at like at the Wikipedia. They have the picture that they have of one is one that says "lol," and the caption says "a sweetheart with the phrase LOL, a relatively new phrase."
Thanks, Wikipedia.
Relatively.
And
What's the edit war on this page to include the words relatively new in that sentence?
Right? Yeah.
what's insane is so these have been around for
500 years.
well like 1866 basically
Really?
is when that's when they started printing the words on them.
Whoa.
So they're like, thank God the Civil War is over. We can finally put words on our candy.
That's how they settled their differences.
Yes.
I don't know.
They're like, to heal a nation, Abraham Lincoln has just died. To heal a nation, we need to put little words on our candy.
Reconstruction candies. The candy was often used for weddings since the candies had witty saying such as, quote, married in pink, he will take a drink. Married in white, you have chosen right. And married in satin, love will not be lasting.
Oh, I don't know about that last.
Okay.
one.
How big are these candies?
Yeah. Is this like a Pokemon candy where it's like 3 feet long?
Right.
And if I'm imagining these, you can't really like cut them. They're like pieces of chalk.
Yeah.
So like, how do you eat it? Is it just like big in there and you look at it or lick it occasionally?
It's like a salt lick.
Yeah.
Like, stop me if this sounds crazy, but if I was printing words on candy for the first time, I would not print a phrase. I would start with something simple, maybe lol, just to just
1860.
like
lol.
relatively new phrase.
Yes.
Like I don't know if I would start with sentences and like poetry. I think I would start with like 2 words maybe.
Do you think maybe it was like they just put letters on them and then they like spelled them out?
Has anyone ever received a ransom note in chalky candy?
Be mine with
Or else.
$300,000.
Nice.
They the only other interesting thing on there is they do produce 8, or at least when the original company owned them, they were producing 8 billion a year.
I mean,
Wow.
it's a big
That's a
number,
lot of-
but like
They're small.
They're small.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah, just like this Pokemon.
Yep.
So
All right.
So what flavor
Chalk.
are these? Are they all a single flavor? Or are they multi-flavor, chalk flavored?
yeah, I would imagine like you cook them in different batches, so you can put different, flavor profiles on there. To me, like, I was kind of taking my own original twist with them, with like the butter and the sugar, like kind of giving them almost more of like a caramel like candy
Okay.
flavor. But
Yeah.
you got to relate to the kids, so like maybe you have like a blue raspberry or like a
Sure.
extreme sours,
Would it be indecent to make the like candy you give to your Valentine extremely sour?
Indecent.
I mean,
Well, like, what does it imply?
maybe those are like the prank ones, right? Like you go up to the unpopular kid, you're like, "Hey, like, will you be my Valentine?" You give them, and like they're like, "Wow, thanks," and they pop in their mouth, and then their like lips, implode, and they look down, and like on each one it says like "suck this dick" or whatever. and
These
they're
nuts.
like, yeah,
Lick my balls.
these nuts on your
You know
chin.
what they say? You know what they say? LOL.
Destroy. But yeah. So I figure like the OG candy is called Sweethearts, and these are called Cutieflies.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love them.
Wow.
Excellent.
What
All
a
right.
classic.
What? Yeah, 1866. All right. Let's move on to Evan. What is your recipe this week?
Yeah, so Cutiefly is not 100% a bee, but it's related to a bee fly, which I'll count as bee adjacent to the degree of like they also produce some sort of honey.
Bees nuts.
Yeah, bees nuts.
Yes.
So
Never gets old.
yeah, bees nuts be making. So okay, we're making a Cutiefly honey pie.
Yes.
So this honey pie, and you finish it off with a little bit of salt too to bring out that like extra delicious flavor. But basically, the filling, it's a classic, flaky buttery crust, but the filling is very like creamy, custardy, and kind of caramely flavored because of the honey. When it caramelizes, it gets that little bit of smokiness to it and everything too. So basically, for this filling, you use egg yolks, heavy whipping cream, brown sugar, cornstarch, salt, the honey, vanilla extract, and then basically combining all of those things together to get your custard. Throw it in the oven for just under an hour, and it should still quote be pretty jiggly when you take it out.
Okay.
Just like the MILF Hunter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That jiggle technology.
Yes. I think, people think the jiggle technology can only apply to the animation of breasts in video games, but I disagree. It can be applied to our pie rendering as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
I want a game that's just taking pies out of the oven.
Nice.
Yeah, so you get the little, and then maybe it's not entirely set and everything yet. Maybe you leave it out to cool and it sets, and it doesn't quite have the like. I'm imagining taking it a step further and getting a kind of creme brulee crust on top.
Hell
So
yeah.
you take your little blowtorch to just kind of finish it, right, and then just do the little salt bay on top.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
That sounds pretty good. Are you concerned that as it's cooling on your windowsill that perhaps a cartoon animal will smell it and then float towards your
Probably.
windowsill?
Probably even more so because it's honey, and we do know that bears love honey.
True.
Yes, that's true. What if Yogi Bear
So-
came
Oh my
and
God.
took your pie?
Yeah, pantsless Winnie the Pooh shows up at my door, demands my pie.
I mean, good things come in bears, so
Yes,
it really
public domain Winnie the Pooh and Mickey Mouse arrive at your doorstep demanding your pie, and that's the beginning of your new horror movie.
There you go.
nice.
Damn.
I like why I have to classify them as public domain. Like, what are the public domain versions of Winnie the Pooh? Like
Winnie the Pooh public domain doesn't have a red shirt.
Blue.
I think
It's a blue shirt.
is it blue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
So it's slightly different than Disney Winnie the Pooh.
Got it.
And Mickey's pants don't have buttons.
Oh yes.
And he's in black and white, so you can't use Caucasian Mickey in your public domain.
But as soon as he takes a bite of this pie, full color.
yeah,
And then I get sued.
Yeah. Yep.
see, that's what the plot is when they know when they eat the pie that they'll be no longer public domain and they can sue you. So that's why they're so attracted.
The copyright pie.
Yes.
I
do copy
Like,
right.
what's a slice?
Yeah.
I like your recipe because I feel like, the joke of this Pokemon is like cutie pie, Cutiefly.
Yeah.
Honey pie is another like kind of term of endearment, but it's also a real
Exactly.
thing, which
Yeah.
sounds
It
delicious.
is, which I didn't know until recently.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a Beatles song.
They were singing about my pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The time.
I excuse me.
No, I would go ahead, Ian.
That's what I thought.
Continue.
That's what I thought. Less of a comment. It's a comment, not a question. I went to dinner at a friend's house, and he made creme brulee, like he makes his own creme brulee,
Ooh, hell yeah.
and I got to work the blowtorch. That's all I wanted.
Oh, and how was it?
That is the most satisfying.
It was really fun. His secret is 2 layers of like you do the layer of sugar, you blowtorch it, and then put another layer of sugar, blowtorch that. And let me tell you, when you Dick style slap that spoon against the glass and it shatters, satisfying.
Feels just as good as Shaquille O'Neal shattering the glass in the Lakers game.
Yeah, just like that.
Did you light your cigarette with the blowtorch after you're done creme bruleeing?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's the secret ingredient. You just blow smoke on top of it to really finish it off.
All
So
right.
there you go.
Ben, what is your recipe this week?
Yeah, so my recipe this week, I was thinking, Cutiefly is kind of also giving like kind of Tinkerbell vibes.
Oh, sure.
And it's also it's a fairy type. So I was kind of imagining that, there's all that pollen, there's all of that kind of pixie dust aesthetic going on. I'm imagining that we can use that without having to harm necessarily the Cutiefly outside of just like harvesting some of this raw material. I think we can use the dust from the Cutiefly as some turmeric.
Okay, interesting.
Wow.
Turmeric's a yellow spice. Cutiefly is a yellow Pokemon. And I think turmeric is just one of those like super versatile spices, first of all. And then second of all, one of the things that I think is the most okay. Let me paint you a scenario. You go to a coffee shop, and usually they have like a chai latte kind of situation, but it's usually done with coffee. In this situation, I'm going to be making a chai, but use some tea instead, and it's going to be like a golden chai kind of situation where you use the turmeric with all the other spices, including pepper, ginger, cinnamon, and then also some cloves. And you're going to use black tea, vanilla extract, and your Cutiefly turmeric. So you're going to order a QT chai at this coffee shop.
Yes.
Obviously, it's a chai that you're ordering. It's specifically a tea chai, so not a coffee chai latte.
Okay.
And it's going to come out quick, which is why you're asking for a QT chai, a quick tea
quick tea
chai, if you will. It's not going to be slow tea chai. Anyway,
What's the slowest tea?
the slowest tea.
Probably those ones that bloom.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah. Absolutely.
I
But
was
it's still like 6 minutes. It's not that slow.
Isn't there?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna kombucha tea.
That is a pretty
Oh,
long
yeah.
tea.
Yes. Yes.
The good thing, though, Jeremy, is you don't have to worry about it being slow because the
it's so
employees at this coffee shop don't get paid enough to. They're on a strict, routinized schedule, so they already have all the stuff prepared. It's going to be super quick. It's going to come out very fast.
Nice.
And the process that they have that is involved is you're gonna they boil some water with the ginger, the cloves, the pepper, and once that's boiling, they add some tea to that, and then from that whisk together the vanilla honey and the Cutiefly turmeric, and then that just like liquid is the golden chai, and it's a great little way to mix up your caffeine routine, and also get some great spices in there.
Boost
good
your immune
flavor.
system.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you say this is a food you could get at like a very hipster, trendy kind of coffee shop? Maybe like it gives a little La Mama vibes kind of situation.
Yes, it is kind of giving like hipster coffee shop, but it's also giving like if you order this like $8 golden chai, it's like it comes in like a huge big cup that you could like sit and do your studies or write your book or whatever at this coffee shop.
Is it like a bowl with no handles that you have to pull up to your face to drink?
Yes.
It is kind of like a you're on the set of Friends and you have a giant coffee cup full of golden chai. It's like it is kind of expensive and hipstery, but like if you're ready to settle in and have like a big ass bowl of golden chai, like this is your spot.
Nice.
Ian.
3 questions. I'm gonna ask them in order of most relevance to least relevance.
Okay.
1, what playlist would you offer me with this chai?
Well, okay, so again, this is sort of like, hipster coffee shop vibes. So I think that the choice of having some lo-fi beats in there to study to is ideal. I don't think you could go wrong with some lo-fi beats to study to on any given chai experience.
Sure.
I think I will also kind of just to keep riffing on this, throw in some Iron and Wine's, your bearded drunken white guy with a guitar kind of vibe as well.
There you go.
Because I think that's also very fitting for just the kind of sit down. It's like raining outside. You're doing like
Yeah, a little Bonnie there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I still hear Iron and Wine and Bon Iver at the coffee shop. It's undeniable. You can't escape it.
And it still fucks you up. So, it's like that's the stuff, right? Like that's kind of what your vibe is. You're not like and no offense, you're not going to throw on like death metal while you're listening to this golden chai. That's just like not the vibe necessarily for this. It's more warm tone.
Mm-hmm.
Second question. What would you offer
One
me?
question.
What would you offer me in terms of like a treat to dunk in it or have with it? Like I walk up to the counter, what's in the glass case that you're going to be like, this is what you should get?
I'm kind of thinking like a almond or some sort of like nutty scone.
Ooh, these nutty scones.
These nutty scones.
It's really like killing me. I haven't gotten to say this yet. QT's nuts.
QT's
There it
nuts.
is.
Let's go.
Was that the third question?
Yes.
What's the least relevant question you have?
Going back to your Tinkerbell, you just got me like thinking about like why don't we have a Halo adjacent what's his name? Is it Peter Pan?
Yes.
I was like, is it Patrick Pan? What?
Mr. Pan.
Mr. Pan. Halo adjacent Peter Pan video game where Tinkerbell is like Cortana, and it's like Imagine you land down on the Halo ring and it's like, oh, the adults have this ring and you have to like kill the adults.
And you have to
Is
like
that not just Halo?
Yeah, no, but you like have to. It's like finish the fight, and then you have to like shoot Captain Hook in the head or something.
You have to grab his energy sword and
Exactly. Yeah.
ram him with it.
Oh,
You have to admit that would
kind
be
of-
a good video game.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
kind of sounding like if Halo did like pulled like a Kingdom Hearts and just decided that they were just gonna like take Halo into other like multiverses, basically.
Yeah, because in Kingdom Hearts you meet Peter Pan and Tinkerbell.
You do, and you
Peter
beat.
Pan encourages you to drive a warthog over your pen.
Oh man, that's so good.
Well, when you do like a stage production of Peter Pan, there's always the moment where you're like, clap your hands so Tinkerbell can live, and the audience like, applauds, and she comes back to life kind of situation. But this time you're like, clap your hands to 360 no scope, and so the audience applauds, and then you just headshot all of the people
Fills
on
up
the
your
other
bar.
team. Yeah.
Oh, that I'm glad you bring that up because that is a feature on the new Switch 2. The clapper. You have to,
Oh,
That's how you turn it on.
relatively new technology.
yes.
Cutting
Man.
edge.
All right. Well, my recipe this week. So, as you all know, I've taken various travels across the world, including the country of Spain.
He said it.
And they have a variety of delicious food items there. But one that's very delightful, and I've had multiple times, is known... Oh, hold on. I've got to bring this up again. Is berenjenas fritas con miel. And do you guys know what this is?
Something with honey.
Yes, it is with honey. But it is fried eggplant. And the way that it is presented is quite delightful. Is they fry these eggplants basically into like sticks, right? So they're kind of like long sticks. And then they build like a Jenga tower with them.
What?
And then they pour honey on top of it.
What?
And it's like like one of your tapas kind of situation. So this week's recipe is cutie fried eggplant with honey. And I came upon it because it's kind of like we can incorporate the honey element of the cutie fly with, I think this would kind of have, I imagine a fried bug would kind of have a similar texture to a fried eggplant, which is there's a bit of crunch on the outside, but it's kind of like soft on the inside.
The bug goo doesn't crisp up as well.
Yes. Kind of situation. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a bunch of cutie flies. We're going to take off their bits, as Ian likes to say. And then we're going to get some milk, some salt, and then we're also going to throw in a little bit of cinnamon with our batter as well to give it just a bit of that extra zing and spice. Once we get that all gussied up and ready to go, you get your oil out to fry them up. You fry them up till they're golden brown and delicious. You plate them in a way that looks kind of like appetizing or exciting, delightful maybe. And then you get a jar of Cutiefly honey. You get those like that weird like kind of like orb that you put your honey like onto when you like want to drizzle it over the
the orb on a stick.
Yeah, do you know what I'm talking about?
And it has a little like rings. Or
Yeah, it has like slats in it.
What is that called?
And you drizzle. I have no idea.
And also, who decided that was the optimal shape for drizzling honey?
Oh, I think it's like I don't know what the Cheerio bee's name is, but like that's like his staff of power.
Right.
Yes,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
true. You shall not pass.
I feel like I remember as a kid seeing that and being like, this is the only place that I see this. Like, this is the only person that I know who uses
I had
this
one in my
honey.
house
Oh, really?
growing up.
Was it used?
No, because I mean, like practically, like it would imply that you have like you pour the bear out into a separate container.
Oh,
But
sure.
then it holds
Because
the
you
stick.
just had honey with
the
a
bear-
nozzle.
Yeah, the bear negates the need.
Yeah.
Which
And I think the honey that we have is kind of like it could come in like a Teddy Ursa like jar, but it's made from Cutie Fly.
You wouldn't say that it comes in bears.
It does not come in bears.
Okay, good to know.
Can we talk about for a second? I need to pull the room here. The last like 3 bears I've gotten, maybe it's a bear issue. No sphincter.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Okay, wait. The last
Like
three
honey bears.
bears.
Honey
you've
bears.
had.
Oh,
Or are you thinking bear-related things in general?
No.
because
Honey bears.
okay,
Would you rather instead of the nozzle be at the hat?
it was
be at
its
the
out
butt?
of its butt.
No, well, I wouldn't mind it if it had a sphincter. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Like, there's nothing.
Still would totally sell units if it had a butthole.
There's no barrier that like the honey
Barrier.
pours out and then it like when you're done squirting it, it stops it. It's like a fucking bird with no. It just like comes out and you have to like kind of like do a maneuver to like not get the honey all over the bear. It's ruining my life.
Okay,
I
so
see.
you're saying
this is a mechanism that would suck it back in.
Right.
Essentially.
Or just keep it.
So what you're saying is that your honey bear, right? Your bear with honey in it.
Yes.
It's just, and when you use it, it's just too much honey gets on the outside, and your bear is sticky.
It just like keeps pouring and like, when you let go of the pressure, it just keeps coming out. There's nothing to like stop
Right.
it.
Pull it back in.
Nothing to
Okay.
sphinct it, really.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. And it's hard because we got this really cute, one of our bears we bought comes with like a fun little beekeeper's like hat you can put over the head.
What?
Got to keep that fucker clean. And I am having a hard time doing that when these damn bears don't have head sphincters.
You need like a bear bidet, but for their head.
That's what I'm saying. I was just curious. Like, I distinctly remember, and again, it might be a bear problem, but I feel like most containers of honey I've bought in my life have something that stops the honey from coming out when you're done with it. Am I wrong?
except for the bears.
Well,
No, I don't think most, like, even unbear shaped honey dispensers, like it's just squeeze and go. Like you said, you got to do the crazy like flip and twist to get the strand from getting your jar sticky.
I swear this podcast isn't sponsored by Trader Joe's, but I will say it's no bear, so this might be, not up your alley. But they do have a hot honey dispenser that does have a sphincter, and it is useful. No getting it everywhere on our end. So if that helps,
a hot honey dispenser? Does it heat it up for you?
it's like spicy honey, like hot, like
Oh,
like it's
That would be
it's got a little
fucking
kick to it.
premium. If like there's a little like you plug it into the wall and it warms up the honey and it like comes out real nice and smooth.
well, I mean, I know restaurants. Restaurants like put maple syrup in like kind of like coffee warmers sometimes to keep it warm, and they just like
Yeah.
turn on the spigot to get in the cups to give to people. So we could do something like that with honey.
so unlike me, after I eat the spicy honey, this sphincter does keep its control long enough.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a Bernstein Bears situation where like I'm just like I thought that all honey had sphincters, but listeners, write in.
Mandela bear effect.
Listener, go to your cabinet right now. Look at the honey jar. You tell me. Sphincter or no?
Anyway, my recipe is fried eggplant.
yeah.
had a-
Sounds really good.
I had a real
Yeah.
question. Did you so are we also so are we with all of that, do they still come in fry shapes?
Well, I sent you a picture of
Yeah.
what I was talking about over our phones.
Oh yeah,
nice.
okay.
So,
Nice.
and see, I wasn't lying about the like Jenga tower situation either.
Yeah.
Do
It's the
you
most phallic Jenga
It's like
tower.
Lincoln
Yeah.
logs.
Yeah.
do you
Do you have to is it required to pull from the bottom?
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's exactly what I was going to ask.
No, you can just eat whatever one you want.
Boo.
But I bet you ate the phallic one first. I bet you did.
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Don't have to because I know.
But that way, like that's the whole thing. Is like whoever topples the tower gets their hands sticky with the evidence.
Right.
Well, I ate it with a fork. So.
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Aren't tapas supposed to be eaten with your hands?
No, you can eat them with forks and spoons and stuff.
This is
Yeah, if
really
you're
embarrassing for you.
Casual.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Can you imagine if someone said I played Jenga with a fork? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Humiliating.
Yeah, I would be so much surprised by that because you can't eat Jenga blocks. But if someone said I ate dinner with a fork, I'd be like, that makes sense.
God damn it, Jeremy.
All right. Let's review our recipes. From Ian, we have Cutiefly Sweethearts. From Evan, we have Cutie Fly Honey Pie. From Ben, we have Quick Tea Golden Chai Cutiefly mixed in there. And from me, we have Cutie Fried Eggplant with Honey. So everyone please vote. Please. And
Please.
Ben will tell us who the winner is. Ben, who's the winner?
Well, once I get all 4 responses, I'll know that it is, in fact, a tie between
tie.
myself and Evan.
Oh,
A cutie tie.
put them up.
All right, excellent. Well, let's. I'll try to remember and put that vote in the Discord this week.
Cutie
Our
try.
democracy is in your hands.
Yes, I'll cutie try to do that. So keep an eye in the Discord. That's where the votes, the poll will head up in. In the meantime, let's move on to everyone's favorite segment of the show, Whale Lord's Mail Horde, where we read your email sent into ichoosepod@gmail.com. That's ICHEWSPOD@gmail.com. Evan, can you read this email from Mike?
Mike says, well, 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 look who it is. It's Mike, ready to cook and eat some bugs. The food of the future. As seen in Bong Joon-ho's 2013-ish film Snowpiercer,
Oh, yeah.
bugs are full of protein and stuff and can be made into brown jello bricks for nutrition. Perfect for class warfare in a dystopian hellscape.
Excellent.
In our current dystopian nightmare, though, we also have started eating bugs as the food of the future, edible chrome notwithstanding. Future Squidward meme. I think we can plus this up a bit. We all know that fairy type is sweet tasting. Bugs are used to make flour. A 2-for-1 kind of situation here. With that in your minds, let's make some cinnamon Cutiefly rolls. I'm pretty sure you can use bug flour as a 1-to-1 replacement for wheat flour. I'll presuppose that Cutiefly as a species just so happens to contain the correct amount of sugar for this recipe.
Absolutely.
Much like crickets in the real world, you're going to need a lot of Cutieflies for this recipe. Let's get messy with it. 2.75 cups of cutie flour, which also contains a 1/4 cup of Cutiefly sugar, apparently. 1 large egg, some milk, some butter, and yeast. Mix it together and let it vibe out a while and rise. Our filling is simply the brown sugar from Cutiefly, cinnamon, and butter. Mix it together. Preheat the oven to 375, y'all. Roll out the dough flat, smear the filling, roll that shit up, use a sharp knife to cut into cutie rolls. Grease a pan, or like me, parchment paper, and use cooking spray. Place those cutie rolls on the pan. Let it cook for about 25 minutes. Sounds good to me. While those are baking, we're going to whip up a cream cheese frosting, full fat cream cheese, butter, powdered sugar. Mix it up. Take those rolls out, let cool, smear some of the cream cheese frosting on top, and enjoy eating bugs. Cutie, bye.
Nice.
Nice. Excellent. I remember frequently on this show we've said, well, if you just grind up bugs, they can be replaced for flour. I think we talked about that in our Moth Hymn episode and our, Cricket Tot. Did we do that one?
We did Cricket
Probably.
Cricketoon, that's what it is, yes. So go back to those episodes if you want to have more bug flour experiences. The Moth Hymn episode is very special. You should all listen to it. All right, let's move on to the section where we pick next week's Pokemon, and the segment I like to call Pick-a-mon. Evan, can you give me a number between 722 and 809?
Ooh, see if we don't get a repeat.
We probably will.
761.
761 is a repeat, so...
Is there anything adjacent?
Yeah, what's the
That was
nearest
our
one?
from last time?
The nearest one that we haven't done... Woohoo. Maybe I'll make a... Just give me another number. 'Cause
Okay.
it's actually
727.
727. That's actually probably going to work
That was
out
a
better.
stupid one.
727 is good. Thank you for choosing that one. We're back to the starters. And it's one we haven't. It's a line we haven't done before. 727 is Incineroar, the wrestling cat Pokemon.
Nice.
So send in your Incineroar recipes to ichoosepod@gmail.com. That's ICHEWP. ICHEW. I choose pod. I just got completely fucked up there for a second. I choose ICHEWSPOD at gmail.com. All right. Now is the time of the show where we plug ourselves on the internet. Ben, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on the internet at Ben C. Montoya on Twitter and Instagram, or thefearandnow.tumblr.com.
All right. Ian, where can we find you?
You can find me at Musician Davis. That's music Ian Davis on Instagram.
Oh.
All right. Evan.
You can find me on posts at E_Van, X at E_Van Aubrey. And yeah.
You can follow me on Twitter at VelocityPrime1, same for Blue Sky, or on Tumblr at VelocityPrime01. If you want to check out some writing I've done, go to the-avocado, Jeremy Zelick, the-avocado.org, Jeremy Zelick, and you can find some stuff I did there. And that's going to wrap it up for the show this week. Yeah, I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. You can find us on your favorite podcasting apps, including Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, or your podcast catcher of choice. If you like our show, make sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to help us go up the ranks. If you want more I Choose You goodness, check out our social media pages, I Choose Pod, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. And if you want to be a part of the community, join the I Choose You Discord. Links are available in the episode description. You can send in recipes, talk with fellow choosies, and participate in community events. That's all in the I Choose You Discord. Last but not least, head over to our official website, ichooseyou.menu. ichooseyou.menu has a full episode archive and a merch store, including the Pokeburger t-shirt, something that everybody wants. Everybody wants it.
In the words of Jeremy, I did wear it today, and people looked at me. So,
Looking good, Ben.
thank you.
Yeah. ichooseyou.menu. And that wraps it up for the show. I've been your host and Alton Brown of the group, Jeremy Zelick.
I've been your friend on this show, Ben Montoya.
I've been Ian Davis, the Oliver Chase of the show.
And still the number one believer of an Aubrey.
And to all the choosies out there in Radioland, in a while, Totodile.
We've been consuming, presuming, leguming, cracking cans and having feasts, munching, crunching, slurping, Pokemon and Ultra Beasts. I choose you. Season 7's our destiny. Let's eat some Alolan food. I choose you.